Hello everyone, I'm Changzhen, the author of 100 Cases of Reincarnation Among Dong People. So I'm a researcher, but also an investigator of reincarnation. Altogether, I have found out and investigated over 100 cases of reincarnation. And today I'm going to talk about how the birthmark or birth defect form. I think according to my research, about 70% of the subjects who have some birthmarks or birth defects which are correspond to some previous incidents or previous wounds. But currently, I think the majority of the reincarnation researchers cannot explain, neither the scientists or doctors. Ian Stevenson is the pioneer in reincarnation research. He explained that it's the mental image which helps the body produce the birthmark or birth deficient. But I think I have a very different opinion. I'm quite confident that this problem have been solved. The biggest difference of my cases. First, I finished after the research. I finished the Chinese edition of my book, published in Taiwan in 2018. So it's one of the bestseller of reincarnation books. Then now the English edition is translated by some native speakers here, translators. So this translated edition is available in Amazon.com. So I think the biggest difference between the cases, subjects I have investigated, and Ian Stevenson is that the majority, or 80% of the subjects in my book, they have very detailed intermission memories. In other words, they can retell their experiences during the intermission time between the lives. So, birthmark and birth defect is the focus of my research. So I learned a lot of, I think, breakthrough information from those people. So first, let's introduce the birthmark, and then we'll discuss. I will give you my speculation or my theory how the birthmark appear on the fetus or on the babies. Okay, so the birthmark, there are several different types of birthmarks of birth deficiency. This is very typical among all the cases, like number one. So in previous life, she was a 12-year-old girl, and one day when she was sent to deliver some breakfast for her father in the field, and when she finished the work, she was feeling very bored, so she climbed up to a very huge, big plum tree, and unfortunately the branch was broken and she fell down. And then when she was fall down, the branch also fall down, and the branch punctured from the nose to the back of the neck. So she was hit death immediately. And then in this life, there were 2 birthmarks appeared on the newborn baby, and the parents immediately found out the two birthmarks, and it's a pair of birthmarks. You can see the entrance. So here's the entrance. This birthmark is standing for the entrance in previous life, and here's the exit. So it's a pair of birthmark, and they are similar. This one, this guy, this is a bullet birthmark, and we can find the exit birthmark of the bullet, because the subject told me that in previous life the bullet was entered from the belly, but the bullet was inside of the body, so there was no exit of the bullets in previous life. Correspondingly, there was no such exit birthmark. So here, this one is also a birthmark, but this birthmark is a little different, because in previous cases the wound was immediately before the death, but this one, the birthmark actually was a scar many years ago, before his death in previous life, because yeah. And here, this is similar, like this birthmark, the hole-like birthmarks corresponding to the previous holes in the lobes, because in previous life she was a lady, old lady, and the old lady wears some earrings, so there were holes on the lobes. You can see the earring. Here's a photo of previous life. Here's the current life. In the current life, he is a boy. Okay. So first, I will introduce the different types of birthmarks, and then I will give you my theory how the birthmark produce in the fetus or babies. So this is called experimental birthmark. So the birthmark is not accident in previous life. It's not a wound, but in their culture, because actually in their culture everybody believes in reincarnation, and somebody will make a mark on the bodies, usually new died corpse. They will make a mark, and why? Because they want to find out the future life of their beloved. So this one is such an experimental birthmark. They used some a kind of local oil and the ash of the cooker, so they blend together and make the mark on the body, and it will sometimes appear on some children nearby, and some of them have the birthmark but don't have previous memories. But this boy not only has birthmark but also has previous memories. So it's a verified and solved case. This one also. Those are, I call them not only experimental birthmark, but I call them three-dimensional birthmarks. Why? Because some birthmarks is just rash, okay, but this one three-dimensional. Why? Because you can see the structure, the details of the birthmark, and the details, the structure are very, very similar or even identical to the material which have been used in previous life on the bodies. So this is very extraordinary, very rare birthmark. It's not two-dimensional, it is three-dimensional. You can see the details on the book. Okay. So this is another very extraordinary birthmark. It's a Chinese character birthmark. So this boy, when he was died at the age of 18, and he was the only child in a landlord. Maybe they can't have another babies. Maybe their parents are too old to have any babies. So they use a brush to write a few characters, Chinese characters, and a year later, a boy was born in the neighboring village, and there are such 5 characters. He told me that because at that time illiteracy was very high, so very few people can read and write. So neither his family members can read the characters, but her mother is very sure that they are Chinese characters and they are recognizable. So so I also investigated another case in China, and this lady is a living person. Every few days there are some characters or even English words appear on her arms, thighs, or even bellies. So it's temporary, but it's very clear at first. And then maybe 20 hours later or a couple of days later, the characters will disappear. So I guess at the beginning, this gentleman's birthmark, when he was a boy, little boy, or the characters were recognizable. Should be very similar to the characters on the woman's arms. So next one. So this one, it is a birth deficiency. It's called a cleft. So I think this birth deficiency or birth defect is quite extraordinary. Why? Because the reason is not because in his previous life he got some hurt, but because he got the hurt in the intermission time. So in the intermission time. In other words, when he was a spirit or when he was a ghost in previous life, he got some hurt on the spirit body, and then the birth defects appear when he was born. So when every family members, everybody was curious about the cleft, and when he was about 2 years old, when he began to talk, he himself explained to everybody why I have such cleft. So this picture shows the the position, the change of the position of the birthmark. In another word, so this gentleman, you can see the birthmark. Actually, in previous life, his mother-in-law made the mark on the front side of the arm, not the back of the arm. But in current life, the birthmark changed from the front side of the arm to the back of the arm. So how can we understand this position change? This is, I think, there's very significant clues for us. So now you have some general information about the birthmark and birth deficiency. There are other cases. They also have very clear birth defect or birthmark. Like some children, they don't have fingers on one hand. Unfortunately, some of them they don't want me to use their photos. So the story, the details have been recorded in the book, and but only part of the photos have been permitted to use. So altogether there are 200 photos, 220 photos included in this book, including all those photos. So let's discuss how the birthmark or birth defect produce on the fetus or on the babies. So when I was doing the research or investigating, I have no time to think about the reason. It's only a couple of years ago I began to think about the question. I think this is very important. Before I declare my theory, first I want to say the spirit, generally speaking, the spirit has three types. So it's not based on one case, it's based on many cases. So one type, let's see the first type. The first type of spirit, I think they are very similar to us. They have their body functions. For example, they need to, even they are spirits, they are ghosts, but they need to eat, they need to drink, they have bowel movement. Okay, they have their veins, they have blood. When somebody, like if the dog bite them, they will feel pain and they will bleed. So, but people will feel confused. Why do you think some spirits can eat and drink? Do they eat the physical food? No, they eat the. I think they eat the spirit of the food. Okay. They are invisible, but according to their collection, according to their memories, okay, they have very similar feelings and they have very similar body functions of the living persons. This is one type. And the second type, they have appearance. They looks like intact body in the eyes of the spirit. Of course, all of them are invisible to us. But one of them, some of them told me, when they were a spirit in the afterworld, they have tried to put some fingers inside of to puncture the palm, but they can't feel hurt. They can't feel. They don't have sensations. They can do like this inside of your palm. So I think this type of body is quite different because they are, how to say, we can say they are empty spirits. So I speculate that there's no inside organs of the spirit, because they told me they don't eat anything, they don't drink anything. And there's the third type of spirits. They even cannot see themselves. They can feel they exist in the afterworld because they can do some interactions with other subjects, but they can't see themselves. So they are invisible not only to us but also to the spirits. So, generally speaking, I think the top 2 and the top 3 spirits are very similar to the ideas of in the Western world, because in the Western world sometimes the researchers think, okay, sometimes they use the energy to describe the spirits, because there's no form, okay, energy. But to me, I think the top 1 spirit is more common than the other types of spirits. Then I checked my research and contacted again with those subjects with spontaneous previous memories, and I found out very important clues about the origin of birthmark. For example, this girl, in previous life, she was 12 years old, and she told me in previous life, after the death, her father rushed to her and pulled off the twigs or the cute branch out of the neck. So she was very, how to say, she was very very painful. It's very painful. And during the days after detaching from the body, she could feel the sensation, the pain, and the wound on the neck and on the nose from here. And she can also feel the bleeding. So in another word, even she was a spirit, she was a ghost in the afterworld, the wound actually has shaped not only on the physical body but also on the spirit. So the spirit with the wound entered the body of the fetus in her mother. And I think that's the process of the production of the birthmark. So the spirit, okay, the spirit has a wound, and then the wound will stimulate the skin of the fetus to generate or to produce the birthmark in a short time, actually, in a short time. So this is my speculation, or this is my theory about the birthmark. And let's see next one. The similar thing. Almost you can check the book. So every case tell me the same stories. So after death, so like this is a birth defect. So he told me in the afterworld, she was a baby spirit, and the baby spirit was hurt by the enforcers in the afterworld of the Yama, and so she has a lot of details about her wound in previous life. I think this wound in previous life caused the birth defects in the babies, in the fetus. And And I think this case is very significant to explain how the birthmark produce. Okay, because you can see. Okay, I have write down the process of the birthmark and why the position has changed from the front of the arm and to the back of the arm, because some of the cases also mentioned how they entered the fetus. So according to their accounts, their memories, I think the reincarnation process is similar to the process you wear your clothes. So the body, first the spirit will shrink their size, because the fetus is very small. Sometimes the spirit is as high as 1 meter high or 140 meters high. So they usually will shrink. And then in a very, very short time, they will mix with the fetus. Because the fetus is inside of the mother. Sometimes it's in front, sometimes in the back. It's not very easy to see the position of the fetus. So you don't have enough time to wear your clothes. Sometimes even we human beings, when we wear clothes, when you wear gloves, when you wear your t-shirt, sometimes you wear the wrong way. Like you wear the front to the back, you wear the other side, even the gloves. You have short time. This accident will also happen during the reincarnation. Like this person, I think, when the spirit enters the fetus, in a very short time, he made a mistake. Here's the process. You see the process? Okay, that's why the birthmark changed the position. So, well, for more information, I recommend you to read the book. There are 200 photos and 170,000 words, and altogether 100 cases. Those cases are very true stories, because my principles for investigating or interviewing, that I will write down whatever they told me. I will never provide you any cooked information. So this book is only a delivery of their information from the subjects to you directly, without any distortion. So this book is also focused on the information memories. So hope this book can give you some inspiration. Thank you very much.